Alright, I hadn't seen any videos on YouTube yet pairing these two pieces of camping gear, so I thought I'd come out to my testing spot out in our sunroom on top of an old dryer and give you a review of the Optimus Terra Weekend HE and the Svea 123R. I do a fair amount of camping in the wintertime especially, and this is my go-to system for when I go camping. First off, it all fits inside of the Optimus Weekend. Comes with a nice bag. Alright, set that to the side. So here it is. I'll go ahead and remove the Svea 123R. I have it here in a wash rag to keep it from scratching the pot. And I'll go over some of the features that I like about the pot first. I guess most notably it has a heat exchanger there on the bottom, which in my personal tests has proven to be very valuable. Second thing I like about it is these handles come with a silicone on it, so you're not going to burn your hands. Another thing I do like about it, it may be hard to see, there you go. It has graduations on the inside of the pot in milliliters, which I don't read, and ounces, which I do, so that's very helpful. Some pots that I've had before have had just milliliters on the graduations, and that doesn't do me much good. Also comes with, they call it a fry pan, it's more like a lid or a cup, and it has a locking handle on it. Okay. Altogether it weighs right at 10 ounces. I believe mine was slightly underneath 10 ounces, but basically 10. I have paired it with the Svea 123R. There are a lot of videos on these stoves on YouTube, so I won't go over too many of the features on it, just to let you know that it does fit inside the Weekend HE. I'll go ahead and light it up, boil 2 cups of water in it to show you kind of what the boil times I've been getting. So let me go get some water and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got 2 cups or 16 ounces of water in the pot. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I light my stove. First off, I got one of these little medicine droppers. If you have kids and they've ever been sick before, you probably have a couple dozen of these laying around your house, and I find that it is the perfect thing to get the fuel out of the stove. Some people use denatured alcohol, some people use the white gas that's in the stove. I prefer to use the white gas that's in the stove because I don't have to bring an extra container of fuel along with me. I have found that the first notch on this little dropper, 1.25 milliliters, is the perfect fuel to prime your stove. I empty it right there into the provided pan and light it up. A little bit of background info. Basically, we're outside. It's kind of a porch, a screened-in porch. It is currently 33 degrees outside. It's probably not 33 degrees here inside, but it's close. It's probably 36. Have my key. I removed the chain, spray painted it orange. I don't know, I didn't like the chain. The stove has been kept outside. The water hasn't. So the fuel in the stove is going to be about 32 or 33 degrees. The water is cold, but it's not close to freezing. Right before my prime goes out, I like to go ahead and start the stove and let it fire up, and it's about the time the prime goes out, the stove's ready to go. I'm going to let it warm up for a second here. Okay. Let's see. I didn't think this through very well. How's that? Close enough? Alright. Crank up the stove. Put on the pot. And start the timer. One interesting thing that I have noticed is that you could put your hands around the pot here, and there's just not that much heat coming up the sides of the pot. Every bit of it appears to be getting, or most of it appears to be getting trapped by these heat exchangers here. I'll see if I can zoom in here for a slightly closer look. We just passed 1.5 minutes on our timer. The pot is starting to do the roaring noise that it does just before it starts boiling. Two and a half minutes, I'll check. There's steam coming out of it, but no boil just yet. Starting to bubble, but no boil just yet. There we go. I'll stop it. Nice rolling boil. And that was achieved in 3 minutes and 6 seconds.